Hey, Slider Crusaders, a couple things about the left's reaction to the president's State of the Union. First of all, moving forward, you're going to hear one of three arguments used by the left anytime something good happens in the Trump presidency. Maybe you'll hear two of these three used at the same time. We're waiting for the grand trifecta, right? Someone using all three at the same time, but you're definitely going to hear one of these three pretty much every day. So the first argument is, well, this good thing that happened during the Trump presidency, not that big of a deal. The second thing is, well, this good thing that happened during the Trump presidency, Obama really set the stage for this improvement the prior 8 years. So really the credit should go to him. And then the third thing is, the president doesn't really have that much to do with this thing anyway, so you can't really credit him. Now, NPR had an argument. Oh, it was about when President Trump said the African-American unemployment rate is lower than it's ever been in recorded history. And NPR said, well, really Obama set the stage for that moving, the last 8 years, and Trump has benefited. And also, the president doesn't really have that much to do with it. Now, of course, those two things contradict each other, but whatever it takes to undermine the president and any good things that are ever going to happen from this point moving forward, they'll do it. So that's the first takeaway. You'll hear those three arguments nonstop. The second is, for the people who have decided that Trump is a racist, they've come to that conclusion, and no matter what Trump says from this point forward, they'll find a way to make it racist. So at the State of the Union, if Trump doesn't point out a black person at the State of the Union, then he's racist. If he does, which he did, then they're just tokens. And they're really winks and nods to white supremacists around the country, so says the New York Times. And when Trump highlights Americans in the State of the Union address, he's subconsciously differentiating between Americans and foreigners. So when he says that Americans are great and heroic, what he's really saying is that foreigners aren't great and can't be heroic, even suggesting that they're evil and dangerous, so says NPR. These reaches are going to get weaker and weaker over the next 3 years, but anything to prove themselves right, and they have gone all in on Trump's a racist. They're not going to back out now. I want to finish here with Joy Reid of MSNBC. You saw this tweet by now. She said, church, family, police, military, the national anthem. Trump trying to call on all the tropes of 1950s era nationalism. She said the goal of the speech appears to be to force the normalization of Trump on the terms of the bygone era that his supporters are nostalgic for. A trope is like a cliche, an overused theme. So church, family, police, military, national anthem. These are things, and implied here are bad things, that his supporters are nostalgic for. I am. I am nostalgic for a return to Christian norms and values in our society. I am nostalgic for strong family units. I am nostalgic for respect for the rule of law. I'm nostalgic for strong national defense. I'm nostalgic for a deep patriotism based on a full and complete understanding of what makes America exceptional in human history. I'm nostalgic for that. You got me. You've seen the scene, the video now of things that the president said that the Democrats did not stand for in the State of the Union. And two of them, one was about the national anthem, and one was when he said, "In God we trust." Democrats didn't stand. That's the motto of the country. And they couldn't applaud. If you can't applaud these two statements, and also if you're a member of the Congressional Black Caucus and you don't applaud when the president says we have the lowest black unemployment rate ever, what are you doing there? I mean, that's seriously, genuinely, like, what would you say you do here? What are you doing? And we have people in influence in the media decrying a return to church, family, rule of law, and patriotism. What do? First, ignore them all. Ignore the people peddling the fake outrage. Ignore the soap opera dramas. Focus on what's real and what's true. And you know what? Bringing back these things from a bygone era that at least I know I am nostalgic for. I think you are too. That's good.